No, those girls. beat
I
up
haven't
on
sent,
this
I
one.
didn't get this,
Again,
but
it's-
that ad's being run.
Did get too old.
I told her I was a doctor.
It should just be on.
Maybe I should send my message to the grandma. Send it to her.
Yeah, cause I don't know. Paul sent me anything about that, because I think they just.
I
once
have
they
so
have
many
the people
use-
on file,
Issues.
They
of
just.
it. Yeah, so she basically tells me that she's not coming in. It's like, that's why I'm a doctor. With LAE. I'm like an ED. That's like, here's me being my doctor. But no, I not too many people know that. I don't. Well, it's just. It's like, you know, it's like, some people are, oh, you should make me call you doctor. I'm like, that's just an ego thing. Yeah. I told Susan what I had.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't read that where it was supposed to be, but Mike's like, I think finally talk off.
Oh, I thought, painting story all the peppers on this counter out there. I was like, "Don't be there." All right, I have a question. So we don't know what's been paid and what hasn't. I had asked for a statement or, to know the bills. So like, for example, do you know more about yours on this one? Because now we've got a finance charge of $375 on this one.
I don't think we've seen that bill.
Well, B thought it was set on, and then do we need to approve these by bill, or will we already approve the?
So the council, they basically get a warrant sheet, and that's basically bills that have been paid.
Well, we need to know what's paid, because we don't have a clue. There's some that are outstanding, the one for Pike County Tourism, that was back in
That's been paid.
August. Yeah, it just got paid. And that's just too long. We look bad. And this one of the bills is
Do you have a copy for me?
September 15th. Yeah. So these are all ones I don't know. So I didn't know. My question is, so even Missouri Life magazine ad. There's a 3% late fee on this one, $23. This one is a $6 late fee. And I know we get some on.
This looks like this is from Miss Missouri ads. These are digital.
Well, why don't we enter minutes?
So I'll move down.
So, so for here, should we say these bills need paid and the amounts again, or like when we decide to do it, we put in.
Did you put it in the minutes?
But we don't know always exactly what it's gonna be like, because they will create things for us at times. So I just want to make sure we get them through and paid. So however you guys need it, we can do it.
I think that is from
Who?
Miss Missouri, that's the
It's supposed to.
500, it's 2 different sizes. So I think that's what that's.
Well, why don't we just do them in our minutes again, and then I'll get Brian these copies. Okay, so how meeting to order? Yeah, this. And Jody had some news today. I was scared too. Am I trying to search everything?
I think it's blank, I don't know.
Tell me.
Maybe.
Were you just, I think it was a church, and there was an envelope in there with some kind of recognition.
That was supposed to go to Karen's husband, and she was attending at the beginning, so I stuck it in there.
Oh, okay. I'll let her know that, and she'll pick up.
And so she didn't show up, so I kept bringing it back to each meeting. And so I knew you were a friend, so I'm
Because
like,
I was out of the for it passed. He just, yeah, we did the 500 exactly on the Missouri Act.
You can start.
Okay, so I have those here. I'm just gonna leave them. Reproof because they look a little different. So I have a bill from Missouri, Columbia.
Okay.
And when So we did 500 of advertising for the Miss Missouri Outdoor. And it ends up being $503.75 because we have a late fee. And then we've got a Missouri Life for $200. And this is the banner and leader ad. And that was run in due dates the first of, it ran November 1st. And then we've got Missouri Life magazine ad for November, December, half page. It was $7.93.75. It's late. It's $23.85 in the whole. $17.36 in the end. And then we've got, this is the same one. They just paid us down the fees now $6 instead of $3. No. This is a different one. This is September 6th. It's 2 months late, so it's $6. Let's see. Okay. Approval to pay. Everybody. Get this little book here. Okay. Also was talking to Alyssa, and she is going to be paying bills twice a month. So she said on the 10th and the 29th. So we need to be cognizant of that to get stuff in on time.
Say
The 10th and the 29th. Okay. The house tour. I started putting it out on Facebook and set up the registration form for it. So my daughter's going to be flies in on Tuesday from DC, and she knows that it's backwards. So I'm going to take last year's registration, and I'm going to send out, for no cost to us, I'm going to send out an email blast. Everybody that came last year. We have 7 houses this year. So the amount was raised to $30 per house. And that's all under Louisiana Betterment. And Brian, I mentioned to Diana that you haven't seen that. She was going to send it to you. Do you have it now?
I have her paid receipt for an old insurance policy. She's going to get me a new insurance policy soon. I have not seen it on the Secretary website. However, I saw her 501c3 paperwork from 2016.
Because it is one, or not 2 entities. I asked her about that. Louisiana Community Betterment. Farmers Market is the whole organization. We just put Farmers Market in there as well. So that is that is her Secretary of State. And it's on there, I double checked.
Okay, because the first time I talked to her, they were separate, and now they're together.
See, and I sit on the board, I've never heard them separate. So I don't know, but they have never, I can go back, I don't know, she's had them there a long time. Sometimes I will go back and look at the initial one.
What day is that?
It is going to be on. Saturday. Yes. There we go.
Is it this week?
No.
No, yeah, no.
No, it's just- okay, December 2nd.
Oh, December second.
I
Okay.
was changing everything on the website from 3rd to 2nd, and I was like. So that's gonna be exciting. They raised the price because.
How can they buy
Louisiana-
tickets?
They have a link for registration and then they get an email back telling them where they can go to register. I mean, where they can go to pay, they can pay by Venmo, we've got that all set up, which we've done the last.
Good
couple
way
of
for
years.
saying.
So through Facebook page, it has a link. And then at that link, because we wanted to gather information, at the link, it asks for their name, their email address, how many tickets they want, and also where they got the information. So do they go to Facebook, do they get an ad, do they go to radio, do they hear from a friend? So we get an idea how we're getting it. So when they do that, then Diana, they provide their email, Diana sends them an email saying, here's the procedure, you can pay on Venmo, or you can come and pay the day. When you pick up your tickets, you can pay.
How much are tickets?
30.
They're 30 this year. 'cause
And
there's so many houses.
what's the average attendance?
Well, that's interesting, because last year we were only 83, or maybe we were almost 100. The year before, my house was only 180 something. So all the money that Louisiana Community Betterment makes goes to all of our town Christmas tree. The snowflakes were all bought by them. They buy the decorations that are in the park. So they buy things to work around town.
Is there any idea why it drops so drastically?
You know what, we think what happened, Diana was really sick last year. She had diverticulitis and had her colon leaking. She was in and out of the hospital. We didn't get it coordinated, so we did not start advertising until after Thanksgiving. And we started advertising last Monday or Tuesday, I got everything up. We think people probably are making their holiday plans when you're at Thanksgiving with your family or your friends or that long weekend. So we think that's what happened, that we missed it. So we're really careful to get it this, on.
Right.
And we've got the parade on. So we have budgeted 140 to boost the house tour, and we have 140 to boost the parade. So, and we approved our budget, but do we need to reapprove that we're spending something? Brian, do you know we already approved what we had in our budget. Do we have to reapprove these again so we can get them paid?
So you've approved the budget, and then you're just confirming those bills
Yeah.
to the budget. So,
Okay. So
yes,
we're confirming we're gonna pay 140. I don't know if we're gonna do all things, but we need to decide that. That's a lot of things.
For Facebook, yeah.
So I would like to see about these two an ad, maybe on the radio. Because they're simulcasting from here in Pittsfield. So we would gather Pittsfield area as well. It's kind of like a double bang. And doing people here, there are people here that still say, I didn't know about it. It's like, I don't know what else to do. We're gonna all over Facebook. Because I think the radio, there's a lot of people on the radio. Maybe we have to into the news like that. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, any different platform you can get it, you can access and try.
Then I'll contact them and see about.
How much
We
it is.
won't go over the 280.
280 collectively.
We might be able to do them together.
Yeah, see how much a radio ad would be, and then whatever radio ad is minus that for Facebook, yeah.
So Facebook, what do you think? I was gonna, what do you think on?
I don't do Facebook that often either, but I think from what I understand, Facebook can be very, like the virality of it can be very free. It gets a lot of traction. So you might not need as much money.
So I would like to boost, I'm just gonna boost it this week, I just wanna go back, so I'll look, and I was thinking $25.
Yeah.
It's huge,
Yeah.
huge amount.
Yeah.
So I'll look and we'll know, and then if we think we need to boost it, I can contact them. Double check. But I think, I'm pretty sure we did 25, and if we really
Yeah.
went out, and if we need to reboost next week, because that brings us, on the side of Facebook.
Well, and even when you're like scrolling through your newsfeed, it's like a post that is guaranteed to see you. It's like $20 guarantees you like, I don't know, X of
Like you can even zoom down into certain areas, like before I
Yeah.
pick, and I'll pick circles, pick up circles and so much, and Columbia in this range, and St. Louis in this range, and Quincy. I'll pick that up and do a big range circle. So I cut everything on my circles kind of neat, but to cover the towns so that we get really good coverage. So we'll do that. I'll start with 25 and then we'll see how, because it will give us our entry results and if we don't think we have sufficient, because it does bring in. Also on there, and I did not boost it because I'm more into private. Be careful not to say public ones and private things. But they are having a craft show the same day as house tour, so I made sure to put that on Facebook too, but it will not be boosted. Only the house tour will.
probably make posts if you can come and spend the whole day.
Yeah.
Go to the half show.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so. Council had their agenda, and I thought mine said he was gonna come, I must have forgot. The website, and I'm assuming maybe this man into the table is Chase.
Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
Susan.
Hello.
So, Chase, hopefully you can answer some of this because it's not that we're opposed to working. But I went back and reread your email. And then Tim had said at council meeting that we would have complete control of the content and what's there, but you would do the IT. So what does that mean? You doing the IT, I don't understand, because when I looked at the emails, there you were referencing, you know, specifics, but you probably know. We wanted to know what's gonna happen.
Okay, so I can't really quote the mayor because I wasn't at that city council meeting, so I'm not really sure what he said exactly. I don't know if there has been an update or like a procedure or something since that council meeting. But some of the things I wanted to clarify in my email is that one of the first questions is the domain that you guys work with, is it an intangible asset? Does it ever in any way have or does it belong to the city of Louisiana?
No.
Okay.
Because it was the LVCB is a separate corporation and the contract is with them.
Okay.
So the city has never had a contract with the people that are hosting.
So if that's the case, then that needs to come off the city website.
Then what, Brian, I couldn't hear you.
So if that's the case, then the tourism button on the city website, that needs to come off that button.
Okay. Because I don't think, I think you're kind of cutting your nose off just by your face, but because there's been years of Visit Louisiana Mo that you're now disconnecting the city from. And I don't understand. I know it's new administration, but I think the control issue, we're not getting things paid on time, we're getting stuck on your end, it's making us look bad. You know, we're the control, you know, it's all around town. I mean,
So you
take
wanna,
the
you wanna
library,
blame the
all
city.
that.
I can't verify that it is the city's fault. Yeah.
What, not getting our bills paid on time?
Correct. I
Oh,
mean,
well, I can go back and we can share our emails sending.
okay,
And-
I don't,
and the
I'm not
one-
aware of that.
The one, Alyssa, I hate to do this one, but so there was, we have an invoice for Icon Tourism, and she said you and Tim came back and told her to change that to the hospital.
You
have
change it
no
to
right
what?
To change the payee of the check to the hospital. Why was that? And she was gonna have to void that check and reissue a new one.
I'm not aware of this.
Don't know why we-
So anyway,
I don't know why we would pay the hospital either.
Unless that person, yeah, I don't.
the person who works at the hospital is gonna be doing, she's reimbursing them, but that is a Pike County tourism. We put in our minutes, we were contributing money towards that brochure, and it's to be paid to Pike County Tourism. And then how they get them printed is their issue, not ours, so we should not be ever paying them, but it's just, that was in September. Well, whenever Tina and I got the big tough, it was over that, and then, you know, all the way through, and just got paid last week. That's a little bit ridiculous. So, you know, these are things that we can't get a list of our, what's we paid. I've asked for it. You know, copies, so we don't know what's been paid, to even do a reminder.
I can get that list, but I'm not willing to throw Alyssa under the bus because I know she's been very good
I
about paying
know
those.
she's been excellent, if she was sending us
I mean,
copies, then all of a
Well,
sudden
then
it stopped.
you can't say that she's not been excellent and then turn around and say that she's excellent.
No, I think other people are holding up some of those.
Well, it's not
She
me.
had to go get mine from Tim. So anyway, the control issue is being a bit ridiculous on some of this stuff. Why does the city have to have access? I don't mind them having access, but I do have a problem with Chase going on and changing anything. And what does he need to change? And certainly change anything without our permission. Yes, Chase.
Give me 1 second. Mayor entered, okay. I just want to make some clarification. So we can't always apply negative connotations to the word control. It's more about procedure because at the city of Columbia and at the city of Warrensburg, and I mean, I guess I could go ahead and check more cities and how they centralize things, but I've called their convention bureaus and spoke with them and I said, hey, I just want to know, like, if there is a way to start from scratch, is there some kind of vision or some kind of sample that you guys could give us? That way I know if I'm doing something that's going to be of value to the city, I want to make sure that I'm not reinventing the wheel or something, so to speak.
So are you talking about creating a whole new website for us?
Well, I want to add emphasis to that here in a moment, but the first thing is that most departments, I believe, they work with their city, and the city of Warrensburg and the city of Columbia, unless I'm mistaken or I misinterpreted what the person said on the phone, they have collaboration with, the city has collaboration with their tourism or convention bureau, whatever you want to call that. It's a different name in some towns. And generally the city actually does have access, control of the website. And I think the reason,
Access and control are two different things. I
well,
don't think you should be.
I don't know,
in the
you're getting
state-
semantics.
Well,
No,
if
no,
I
no,
can
no.
clarify it, I was told by Tim that they would still have complete control and decision
He said
making.
that at the council
And change-
meeting, it's on the video,
Yeah,
within about 1 hour it starts.
yeah. So he has said that. He has said that, and I also have it on a recording. That was between me and him where he also stated that they still would hold complete control.
Well, and that
So
matches.
now I don't know if you all need to have a meeting with the mayor maybe to clarify all of that, because it seems like here we go again with miscommunication, but I know what my communication with him was, so I mean, that's about all I can say about it. He did say that.
It comes down to the
What's
state
that?
statute that revenue received from the tax shall be deposited in a special fund. Before they did it into LBCB, into that fund, it didn't have to be a city fund. Tim wanted that, didn't have to be a city bank account, it's a special fund. We're like, okay. But now we're having some issues with things getting kind of stuff coming out the other end, and used solely to promote tourism. The the commission shall administer the money within the limits of the budget approved by the city or county governing body. So we have every right to say we want complete control, and we can do it the way we want to. We want to collaborate, but, and I hate to criticize your work, but I think it looks, the avatars here, we kind of need to go into this next subject anyway. Who do we want to attract to the city? I was in, Marion's had a lot of experience, and I was the financial end of that. Who do we want to target? And younger kids, I'm sorry, I'm 63, so I consider you a young kid, you're still younger than my children. We want people that have money. Typically, tourism, we're looking at attracting people that will come and stay over and have the money. A lot of times you're looking at adults, the kids have gone up to college and not finding enough time and money to spend. So maybe the kids in college don't have so much money, but they want to get away and they want to do things. So we're really looking for the overnight dollars more so. So who do we want to attract? And I don't want ours to look like the avatars and the younger book. Yes.
To make clarification on that, so before we jump into conclusions about why the avatars were there, I just want to state that before the website, with the way that all the contact information was set up, was very bland. And I think the reason why the city had it like that is because the current company that site is contracted through charged them ridiculous amounts of money per hour just to even upload or do anything to the website. And so the reason why I put the avatars there is to kind of create a filler, because if you go on there, on most city websites, you can go to the contact us page, I guess like Bowling Green, Missouri, for example. It's just like, oh, contact us, but there's no faces, there's no nothing. Well, it's like, well, until we can maybe get like a professional composite of each individual person, which would be the most preferable thing because it shows the face. A constituent would go on the website and they'd say, oh, you know what, this is what the council person in my ward looks like, right? Because the Kansas City, they have people that they're composites on there. So I thought, well, I'll put a filler on there until then, and it will kind of show something. But there does seem to be some kind of like it's called brand consistency.
Which we don't have.
And brand consistency is an issue, but also like the website is not finalized. I just wanted something there rather than nothing there at all. And, you know, they'll scour onto those websites and maybe they want to get a hold of the city and they want to know who they're talking to. It's like, well, if we don't have a professional composite right now, why not just put kind of a resemblance of that person on there in the meantime? Because until like the mayor, the city administrator, or someone decides that they want to make a survey, take it and say, you know, Chase, let's change it to this. I just want something there instead of nothing at all.
So the
I
whole
appreciate
issue,
you saying that we're
hey,
talking
if I
about
can, just for a second,
Kansas City, that is how many.
can you all hear me?
Most people seem to, I don't know that should be necessarily the driving force, and people could give you a photo of themselves if you want to pick one and put it on there. So, I mean, but I have no control of the city website. That's totally, you know, the chamber, excuse me, the council, and you know, have control over that. But if it's tourism and things we're spending money on, you know, we're updating pictures, we're getting new pictures, we're trying to do everything we can. You know, we wanted to boost out people, and then, you know, Brian mentioned that, and then it sounded like you thought we were okay because you were adding people to our list on new businesses. And then when Tim was trying to get rid of me, he was telling, and I was told you were telling me that I'm doing something against rules. So do we need to come and get okays on all of this so these things don't come back?
What are you as a administrator on that, what are you planning on bringing to that website?
So I just looked at it while I was sitting here.
Yeah, I have never actually looked at it.
And since the last time I looked at it, so recently it has been updated to add new restaurants. Colorfest is on it now.
Colorfest has been on it for years. All I did was change the date for the next year.
Right,
Nothing's
but-
been changed. It's always been.
Well, I mean, there's been other events, you know.
Can anyone hear me?
Missouri Outdoors, I don't know unless you added it to Colorfest.
No, do we have a new date for next year's?
All we do is
Well,
it's
then, Brian, you can let me know. And that way-
October 19th. But,
Okay,
but
send me an email,
I'm telling
please,
you,
and
I'm-
we will-
Colorfest, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
so I'm letting you know that I just checked it out now. And it's updated quite a bit
I should be updating, so.
since I last looked at it. So the issue that I had is that there were events that were coming up and that it wasn't listed on the website. And so I'm talking to Chase. It's like, well, how do we get this updated? So this has been recently updated.
Well, some, yes, the
And so
events.
I'm almost gonna say some of the events were post-dated, updated. But I don't have a,
Well, I can go back and look at my login. When I did it, but the restaurants, I don't believe I updated any restaurants since several months ago. We have all had, issues within our families, and unfortunately, we weren't able to do that as quickly as we would.
So is
like.
that
So-
What you're bringing
I just-
to catch up, if you look at it, if he hasn't had the time or whoever.
so
Becky,
my issue is, then what I'm doing at City Hall is, I'm not the only one in control of something.
Yeah.
We've been trying to do a minimum of 3 people. So that if something did happen to myself, we have 2 other people that have control. So we've been doing a minimum of 3 people, I would like 5, to have access to any one thing. So if I go rogue and go crazy, and then we have 2 other people to balance it out to make sure that the city is protected. So we're doing that.
Us have, look, I sent to an email.
So, I mean, the fact that you should have the mayor or the liaison or the city administrator on there, I mean, that's just spreading the reach.
Glad you.
Add Linda, I'm happy with that. Add Wayne Baker, I'm happy with that.
I don't want changes made to our website. I would rather have someone say, hey.
Can anyone hear me?
If we need no dates, we did do the pageant. We weren't given much information at first, on it. That was not. So we're happy to do stuff. And we have.
But I just want to make sure that everybody,
Hello?
There's an important key that was left out. Sorry, Chase put information on that website with some of those Google pages. It had private email addresses of everybody that signed up for the thing last year.
Can you please elaborate on what page that is?
It was the Google Doc, when you put on the chambers.
Okay.
I don't have Google Docs on my phone, but I do have it on my personal computer. So when I brought it up there, I couldn't get to it, but on my phone, when I X'd out of the chamber, up came her whole Google Sheets information.
Well, I can tell you right now that, so I'm just an IT person and I wasn't aware of that ever have been considered private information. You're talking about the list with all the phone numbers?
I'm talking not the chamber list, which I imagine you got permission from the chamber. Because sometimes those internal things are someone, as you have a business, you might have a business phone number, and then you have your personal. You don't give out your personal email or your personal phone to everybody. Just 1 second. That has to do with the chamber. That's not my problem. My problem was you had posted all up behind there, so when I click down, every person that registered for the tour last year, we don't even know them. And putting their personal information out there is really, really a bad thing. You cannot
Can
do
anyone
that.
hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, well, just to make sure that people understand that there's not some kind of malicious intent, there's not a mischaracterization going on. That has not been brought to my attention, and you would need to send me an email unless there's something you did. Okay, well, I'll have to look at that, because the only thing I remember seeing as
Oh
far
my
as
God.
personal information and anything in regards to tourism was, there was a Gmail account that had been on the website prior to me even working for the city that was on there. And I thought, okay, well, maybe this is some kind of chamber thing or something.
Yeah, you had written that it was the up-to-date chamber membership list, and it was from 2019.
I don't think anybody has any thoughts of you doing anything maliciously.
I understand.
So I just want to be upfront with that. I can speak for myself. I don't think you would do anything wrong. That's all.
Can anyone hear me
But
now?
another thing I'd like to clarify too is that depending on how people choose to respond to emails, I'm not responsible for the conscious decision making or how people choose to prioritize their time if they decide to respond to me and make comments in emails. So anybody that takes time out of their day or their schedule, that is a conscious decision on them. Because when I sent the email out in regards to, well, I guess we're just going to make a new website, that's when it seemed like I got some response.
And I was on vacation. I mentioned that. Did you read the email that I sent?
I did. I'm just making a comment that I am not in control of your subjective reaction. I'm also not in control of how you decide how you decide to prioritize your time when you respond to an email.
And we got a response from the side.
Hey,
Well,
this is
like I
Tim
said,
Curry.
if you look back in the previous
there?
email where I said,
Well,
There's
typically
different-
admin is high reaching over everything.
So what will Chase be able to do to our website? What are his,
You can do anything you want him to do
you may do
or
what?
not do.
Okay, as long as he's not, Tim, I was going solely off what he put in his emails to me. And saying that he, I intend to fix the mishandling and miscommunication with social media pages, emails, domains, and other logins. That he wants access. He's going to become the webmaster. He told the people that he needed all the administrative contact information because he's taking over webmaster responsibilities. That he'd be making changes. That's
Susan,
why.
I apologize. I'm sure the list is extensive, what he can do. But bottom line, anything that he recommends and suggests, he's going to run it through the committee if it pertains to the tourism committee. And he's not going to go freelance on you. He's capable of taking care of all that stuff, but he's still going to have.
That's the thing. We do our own content changes.
Hey, Susan, I understand that. That's not the issue. If you don't need him to do anything, that's fine. We still need the admin access. That's the bottom issue.
He did say when you come hearing that you may have control.
Okay, so that
What you do now.
we're fine. We just his emails left me to the impression because he said there were going to be aesthetic changes and other changes. So I was going solely on what Chase said in his email he would be doing.
it's all possibilities. I mean, yeah.
Excuse me. So you're saying he could go make changes without our approval?
So if, let's say one of you decide to go rogue and put some stuff up there that is not kosher.
Then you need to contact the rest of the committee.
So it deals with the city policies that, there's access, there's admin access.
But I think you owe us the response, you owe us the courtesy of letting us know before you go into town.
So that's, you do that as well.
I would like to make clarification on my on the section where I talk about the mishandling of domain names and policy and stuff like that. So for a long time in the process of like updating things, there's been tons of like discs and ideas from previous committees and stuff, and just like old files that have been sitting around. Well, around with those old files, there's old usernames, old passwords, things that were not communicated.
Oh, that's probably
They were not surrendered properly. And I mean, I could point some examples out that kind of have me concerned. So there's an old Facebook page that claims to be a betterment page. It's called Louisiana Mo. It's a Facebook page, and they shared when the water department used to post the council meetings on there, they would share that. They would share all this other stuff, but it has the website name on there. It has the city address on there. I believe it has the city business address. It's called the City of Louisiana, Missouri. You could give citizens the wrong impression that that's the city website. And then I messaged that person kindly and I said, hey, I am doing IT now. Is there possibly you could transfer this over? Well, they said, oh, well, are you trying? And they kind of ran this whole thing. Are you trying to control every city page like that? It's like, that's not the point. The point is that if this page was in fact made on city time at some point in time, then why is it going to an outside organization? Why can't it be a part of a policy and a procedure where it's in the IT department? Because it's irrelevant if I exist or not after some time. It's whenever I'm doing all this stuff at the city and I pass the torch on, there's not going to be more confusion, because you'd be surprised how many people like they don't return their access card. They won't return their flash drive for multi-factor authentication. They just get clumsy and they forget about stuff. It's like that's city property, and that could lead to some data leaks or something down the road. And it's not one person in particular that stands out or anything like that. It's just the nature of there's so many confusing emails and things that have not been turned over. I'm finding emails back. I go on the Wayback Machine. That's an Internet Archive website. There's all kinds of stuff that the previous mayors didn't turn over that they should have never deleted. And that's going to cause issues. And we have a city auditor coming in next year. And it's like, there's going to be a lot of questions asked. And hopefully in the future, whatever happens 10 years from now, they're going to be able to maintain the confidentiality, but they're also going to be able to keep the same credentials, because those credentials over time will be more consistent. And as more salespeople, more people who have come in with contracts come in, that stuff should be the same. It shouldn't be, this is a Gmail account. Oh, there was this mayor account 10 years ago. So that's all I'm trying to clarify.
There are way too many. If you Google Louisiana, Missouri,
Yeah.
a zillion pages come up for web pages, not just Facebook pages. There's way too much. You don't even know which one's current. So I don't know if that can be done, taken down or not, but there are. So I agree with you 100% on that. I just, from what you said, got the impression you were going to go on and make aesthetic changes and all kinds of changes to our page. And I've done some front end as well, developing the story of Louisiana. That, I would love to sit down and we could figure out something and make some changes and maybe start bringing something up in the future. Because I think the web name is middle of next year. I think the web address is licensed through the middle of next year, so that'll have to be changed. It would be nice to have something ready to go before we take this down. Because taking this down would be stupid at this point till we have something ready to slide. I have no problem with any of that. I just want collaboration. If we know the lead brain, I don't see any of the ladies that work with me. We're all professionals, we all run our own businesses, every one of us.
But all of us have time limits. I mean, I'm going to this position for a certain period of time. None of us are going to last forever. But whenever it's my time to go, then whoever takes my replacement should have full access of that, and I should not have access.
Right, no, my point was back to what you said, if someone goes rogue.
If someone does go rogue, I mean, if
But my point is, I would appreciate the courtesy of you calling one of us and tell us what you find bad and why.
I don't have a problem doing that as well.
Okay, I would appreciate that, because we, instead
But
of
at the
just
same
going and
aspect,
doing it.
Going back to what I was saying, and then Tim said it another way, it's basically city policy that we have some type of administrative access.
Okay, I haven't ever seen that policy, but it makes sense. But again, we just don't want, people want to make all kinds of
Can
changes.
we work within a draft system to where if you wanna change the restaurant page, you go in, you make those changes, but then you save it as a draft, so it's not yet published, and then you send out an email, text, whatever, to all of us and Chase, and you say, hey, I made this draft, can we all approve these changes? And we all work off of that draft system, can we do that within the way the website is set up now?
I have to check,
Okay.
but I think that also is gonna become very.
You can do that, yes, with WordPress, you can.
Right, I just
They're
don't
not
know.
on WordPress.
Yeah, we're not on
'Cause
WordPress, so
WordPress
that's
is
why
what
I
I
wasn't
built
sure.
the other one on, and I know a lot better. This is a little bit more difficult.
I mean, I think if it's something like adding an event or whatever, we wouldn't really need to get full approval of that, you're just adding in something. But if you're making any kind of big change outside of that, or if any
Well,
of us are,
I would like to go for a target date of Chase working with us and bringing something up on WordPress.
Right.
Let's do something so that when the domain name goes, or we need to renew it, everything can be shifted over. And we've got it all set up the way we want it. But it is not, unless, no offense, Chase, but it's very time consuming to set a really great looking website up. And I like WordPress, I prefer that. And, you know, so we need to decide from this and come up with concept with you and ideas, and that's great. But I know there's another meeting coming in 11:15, and I know Brian has going to talk to us about something. And
Myself, in like the next month.
could you tell us a little bit more about Mike Jones with that contract?
Yeah, before we go on to Mike Jones, do we have a target date of when the administration can have access?
I mean, we can give them access now, but again, I would go ballistic if we go on and there are changes made.
I think we all agree to do the administration thing with understanding that before you make changes, you will contact somebody off of the tourism.
I'm fine with that.
So by Wednesday?
I can do it when I get back.
No, you said something a while ago that kind of confused me. About the LV group before was not under the city umbrella. But I thought the Louisiana tourism that we are now is under the city umbrella.
So from my understanding, the city had a contract with
The old group.
the old
it's
group.
fire.
That's why, and it expired. So now we have the Louisiana Tourism.
Which
Commission.
we could have renewed that contract.
Which is under the city umbrella is what I thought. Is it or?
It technically is under the umbrella,
But they have
however,
no control over what's
Yes.
with the money, other than the budget, whatever.
Okay, you also have control of the group's money and all of that, and the budgeting, and the tourism, and he's gonna get his administration stuff, and is there anything else at the bottom? So you won't take your little thing down off of the city thing, since they technically are under the umbrella?
so right now, I don't plan on doing anything until after Wednesday, because because
Gotcha.
he'll have access by Wednesday.
So then,
So once
it'll stay on the city page, and people can see it.
Come Monday, it'll be a different story.
Just a quick clarification, I believe both the cities I'd mentioned, Columbia and Warrensburg, actually did have full control over their convention bureau websites, and that the people who actually worked for those convention bureaus had limited access. Because I know at City of Columbia, I know that they have an entire IT department dedicated to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand.
And a lot of these towns also have full-time tourism people. We can't afford that. So we're all volunteering our time. No cost. We do a lot of work, you know, behind the scene, making ads and getting posts up and responding to stuff. There's a lot more than just, you know, there's a lot involved. So, you know, they're bigger, and that's what they do. They may also be organized under a different section than we are. Our section of the statutes is for smaller towns.
The only clarification I was making was just procedure. That's it.
So, has everybody come to an agreement then, come Wednesday, he'll have his stuff and everything's
I
gonna
think so.
move forward? The
Chase,
way
what is your email? I can do it when I can go from here to another meeting, but I can get it out.
and that suffices the city.
Do I want to use Hunt?
I would use it@louisianamo.gov. I'm actually
IT at,
louisianamo.gov.
I'll spell that out, Louisiana. I will send that. Oh, that's not Hunt.
All right, so Mike Jones was a connection through Lindsay Lucas, who was the former Miss Missouri Outdoors team. He was pretty impressed with her. Mike Jones goes to a lot of outdoors type of events. He met Lindsay at Pro event, and he was covering that event. That event was broadcasted on the Outdoor channel.
Is this the,
Mike Jones, the Redneck Roving Reporter.
so is that, when you're talking outdoor?
It's the Outdoors is a cable channel, or is it it's a,
Because I tried to follow that through, because I could not get, I couldn't get
So-
Mike connected to
It
anything.
might be one of those apps you have to pay for. I don't know, I'm not sure where it is.
You can-
I'll have to look for it.
so if you, so when I signed up for Spectrum, it was one of the choices I could have made on getting the number. I got 15 channels.
Yeah.
It was one of the options. So he's on that. Every now and then we'll put a show on one of the Discovery channels.
I've seen that.
So Mike's show is called what? It's Mike's show?
He has 4 different shows, but he is the Redneck Roving Reporter.
Okay, that one I was able to find.
And he travels around doing different events. Some of them are for his television show, some of them are for his blog, some of them are for his radio. And some of them he's contracted out. So we were working on, because you had some questions at the office.
Mhm.
And I said I would get you that information. So I was on the phone with Mike Jones and his production team, which is Jim Algood.
Oh, I see him. He has, it's the Redneck something. It's a Facebook page. He's the.
Right. And so we are working up on a scope of service, and then Charles and I was on the phone with Jim Allgood and Mike Jones, talking scope of service, and then we've asked him some of the questions that you we did get some clarification. He has 110 million households that he goes to in the United States and 130 worldwide.
Because you're, we've only got 193.6 million households.
So Charles and I were asking for confirmation of that, and give me the Nielsen ratings and that kind of stuff. So they're getting that
For the
together
outdoor channel or his show.
for both. So,
Because, yeah, I'd like to see that. And then were you able to talk about the deliverables, what we will get for $10,000?
Scope of service, where we were talking about that. That's why I said next month I should have everything that you've asked for.
Could we have it ahead of time, print out so we can look at it and have questions ready?
I will do my best.
That would be awesome.
You'll get it the day after I get it.
Thank you.
I know Harley, every time she's in this outdoor down, every time she does something, he remarks on it and he also pushes it forward to other people for pictures and make comments about her being from and so he's kind of putting us out there. She told the deer, she put that out there with her deer, here's your new Missouri outdoor, Louisiana, Missouri, so he's promoting us and her every time she does something.
But
Well, do the Nielsen break out, because I know radio stuff, I don't know the TV very well. Do they break out the areas where they have concentration? Because we also have to.
I'll give you whatever they give me.
All right.
I don't know the answer to the question, so.
I would like to talk to the council, be on the agenda next time, because I think something, and Chase touched on it very well. We have more taglines than a fire sale has tags. We need to come up with an identity. We need to come up with what we're going to do as far as who we want to attract, who we want to attract as visitors, who we want to attract as residents, because we don't have that. We have so many, and our city logo is very colorful and pretty, but to me, it looks like we're all river centric, but we're not. We don't even have a dang pier out there. We have the one little
Working on it.
and on off road. But then we need to know that. Who do we want to attract? So we need to know that before we all start chasing, all of us start trying to figure
So
out. how
I'm
we're
working
gonna
on
do it.
putting a Superior out there. I've been in contact last week and this morning with Viking Cruises, who comes up twice a year. So I'm asking for them to be for us to be a stop. I know that they do stop because they had a medical emergency and did stop. So I know they do stop, but we want to make sure that
We
they,
want to be a stop.
we want to be a stop.
Usually clubs too that, I found a article on in Lona's books that she's done through all the years, where a canoeing club came through and they set up down there for us to be a destination stop for them to, rest, get something to eat and stuff like that. And I don't know how many years ago it was, but I can get that article from her.
But to answer your question, I mean, I'm an all of the above guy. Whatever is gonna get you to stop and spend money here and spend some time here, to leave here with a positive impression. Because the best advertisement that's free is word of mouth.
Sure is.
So whatever it takes, whatever means here, that's what I'm for, as far as the demographics.
Because I think we want to, if we know what the city's, the direction we want to go, and we get this idea of, identity of what we're going, who we're gonna be, that's the next thing. That's the Pike County Trust.
Quick question, is Joe still burning through?
Yes,
Yes, she,
she had school today, since they had
That's right,
Thanksgiving this
yeah,
week, they got school
yeah,
Monday.
This week, that's right.
and we didn't think about it fast
The
enough to
new
try to.
person,
We don't have a new person that I know, because I had suggested if we could get Mary Ann to be, because the statute said one of our people has to be in the hotel. That's probably what you need to Rena, but when I talked to Rena, she's like, maybe we can make it, and there's a lot to do, so I don't know, we'll see if we can. And they said, it's okay. If you can't be an active participant, we understand that, but we do need somebody that can attend meetings and give us ideas, because I know the bed and breakfast, a lot of times they hear from the people that are there what they thought of the town. So we get the good and the bad, and we know as a town what we could do to make the impression better.
Yes.
So I'm very, she'd come before. So
So that
I'm
doesn't
putting you on the spot, I
That's-
apologize.
Okay, I think that there's still some discussion whether it be myself, Jenny, or Tom. And it unfortunately may end up being a rotation of the three of us because of scheduling. Like Tom had a doctor's appointment today, that's why I'm here.
And they come, I don't know, Brian, if you know, Tom, how many years is he at the radio station?
We live
For
almost 40 years, 1986.
So they have all this great experience. Mary Ann was with them 16 years, and they talk about Pittsfield, so they simulcast presently. I think they'd be great asset for us, but we need to have, I don't know if we can name maybe to one person, and then you guys can, you can be like their reporter or whoever's not here. But I think they'd be great, and then they fill that part we need, because we do need somebody that has.
What's the maximum and minimum of,
I think,
5.
I think it's just 5 is what the
Yes.
state statute states, 5 and then the city.
it's 5 the minimum or 5 the maximum, or
It just says
5?
5.
It just says 5.
5, 6, 5.
Yeah, no more, no less.
But there's no reason, I don't think,
You're
because they're all
from
of one.
Gambino? And the Eagles Nest.
So if one person wants to stand up
So can you run that past him if you want somebody?
Well, it would have to-
Past him?
It would have to go through Tim and then city council, right? You guys have to approve her, so you'll get in touch
Put it on the agenda then.
with her.
Because that would be great, because I think that's the whole, I know you're not saying, right, make any part of
That's okay.
Like I said, but she'd be like, oh, which can't bother, she's not.
But let us figure out which one you want to put on there. Just with the simple fact that, availability, you can be here more regularly. It's one thing for, you necessarily don't want us continuously doing this. So,
And I mean, unfortunately, due to the state statute, you have to have someone who has a hotel or motel on this board.
And Rena's,
And rating, and like, you have like 5 options. So,
and Carrie's not here, except for she's sheets.
yeah, and then this Soups.
Yeah.
just to make sure, does it have to be the owner of it or the manager?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
It doesn't say.
You
It
just
just
have to
says.
work in that industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I want to make sure that we get that.
Yeah. So, Teresa was- one of these 5 members will be a representative of the hotel motel industry. We need that person. So that would be really helpful. Let's see what else. So, could I be put on agenda under tourism for the next council meeting, just to put in their heads that we really need to start looking on who we want to attract and what we want to be?
Would you on the agenda?
That would be great. You know, which we want to.
You want to be on the work session, you want to be on the council meeting? It sounds to me like the work session.
Well, I agree, but could I just gonna do a little blurb at the council meeting so that the work session, people have had time to think about it? And then we could do a little more.
I'll put you towards the front.
That'd be super. Let's see. The other thing, and this was interesting, and I'm sorry I don't have copies. But, Wayne has a box, right? Would you, I took out the ones I thought were, and Brian, thank you very much. You got the stuff, but there's, these, and who shows up and where. But I thought it was really interesting, about Missouri, that 42% of all the visitors come from within the state. So that's really, it's the second page. That, I thought that's really something, so we need, so I think, doing the Missouri Life is a good thing for us. We need to get some numbers from them, but, and then the next one's Illinois.
40,000 households is not quite enough, though. Or they don't think they're spending.
How many households are in the state of Missouri?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, so that I think we need to look at how many households there are, what percentage of the households we're hitting. And then,
Simple Google of the census would work.
yeah. So anyway, I wanted everybody to kind of look at this, so for next time. We've got an idea, there's shows my age group, there was a bunch of stuff that really wasn't to do. It's kind of sad, I mean, look at the map of the United States. Missouri just really isn't a big, very far reaching tourism.
Well, it is our third largest income for the state.
Pardon me?
Tourism is our third largest.
Oh, yes, I agree. I just meant Missouri, the state, you know, get people from a lot. But this is the one I thought was really interesting and worth looking at in detail, what they're spending on, the activities engaged when they're coming. And what ones of these we can fulfill. So this is more homework, just to kind of familiarize ourselves and get people thinking on the line that we need to go. So, we also got this, I don't know if anybody wants to outdoor guide to us. Take that. And we also have an offer to put our 501c3 to put our corporation, put us on a list for market. People are looking for 501c3s. I don't think that's just, and then another one, this one is for them to actually fill out. So 990, 501c3.
Susan, I did check on the Visit Missouri book that you said they're not going to continue the listing. When I called the state and asked that question, so they're still planning on doing the book.
Yes, she told me they're still gonna do the book.
But they said that it's not gonna change much, other than there's gonna be a couple extra stories in there, but that's.
Well, then I'll call the girl back. I ever found out I have the tourism department and asked her, did you talk to the tourism department?
I did, I talked to the director.
Okay, I will call the girl back, because the director wasn't at that day, and double check. So the last thing, right, when I talked to them, they said typically, unless they have a dedicated tourism person, they don't put the businesses on, and there are specific rules. So that you have to have, Jody had mentioned before, to be listed on their website. I'm sorry, the Missouri Tourism Official Guide. So in the back, they have stuff listed. And so Brian and I both get different stories, so I'll call the director and ask this time. I was told they weren't going to do this listing in the back anymore, but they would do it on their website.
The listing is throughout the entire book, and they break it down by region.
Right.
So if somebody wants to go a day trip to a certain area, they don't know where the golfing is, they don't know where the restaurants
She said
are.
they were gonna do, so obviously I need to talk to them and find out a little more what they are changing. She said they're taking that out. They're gonna still have the tourism spots, but not so much the restaurants.
Well,
So I need clarification on that.
I had been holding the first batch that I did.
I would feel it's our responsibility to put everybody in town on this south. And the reason being is because you have to meet that qualification list. What I would propose is to send letters out with the contact, with here's the qualifications, make sure they're aware it's a free listing and they can put it on. Because even to do, Marianne was really good about, and see how to get this stuff on here. What picture do you want to use? So, we're deciding for people. And Jill, I think I just went and stole your Facebook picture because I thought if she likes that one, it's going to be okay. But I don't know that we can change ours. So if we go put these people on and we don't have what they wanted on there, I think.
Yes,
That's a problem. What I'd like to do is supply them all the information. Here's where you go. Here's the qualification you have to meet. You meet these, go do it. Make sure that they know they can do that.
Is this something you guys collaborate with chambers or conferences? They are meant to furnish their businesses and their director.
They should have all of the contacts, emails.
That's a good idea.
My issue with that book is when you go and you look for Louisiana, there's only one listing, and that's it, for our entire town.
Well, sure, but it's the same as if you try to look up restaurants within Louisiana as well. Half of them don't have a Google or a phone number for you to reach them, and that's not our responsibility. That's the business's responsibility. And so it's kind of the same, like, we're not gonna create their Google pages, we're not gonna make sure they have a website. Why would we put all of that work into making sure they get into this one very small place?
Because then we're not spending dollars, but what point are they responsible for the business? We're trying to get people here. And Brian,
And no one's gonna come here if they don't know what here is.
Well, exactly, and that's why I'm coming back to, so you were concerned about spending public funds on private.
That's free.
What I want to say is, when I was talking to you, I want to make sure you agree, because it comes down to your area. What I'm gonna drill in, use it as an example. I want to boost out, and when we every new business, so Joe, there's will be included as well. Welcome Gambino's, an Italian restaurant in Louisiana.
I mean, I'm sure I
Really
could.
glad to have you here. You're in Louisiana. Come visit.
So the problem is, if you do just Gambino's as a welcome, that's gonna be public dollars for a private entity. But if you do it as a group, this is all the restaurants we have in our town, then you're providing it for everybody.
Did you highlight the deals like on the top?
Yes.
That would work.
And do what?
Input, you know, a lot of
Like
times, like if you're
football.
watching TV, you'll say, you up in the corner, so you know
Well,
that
that-
you
that's what I
here.
mean, welcome, I could put welcome Gambino's, I know this is new to the town, because nobody drives down Georgia. Nobody has a reason to go to our town and see what we have. If we don't tell them, someone's hankering for Italian, where they're gonna go, they're gonna go over to Nucci's, because that's the only restaurant they know about. So if we, I think that's tourism to say, I'm not saying this is a sex list, I'm not saying anything else, I'm just saying welcome.
We say it's, yeah, have more than one person in the list, or then it's a personal.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I'm not
you
saying that
asked that Louisiana has something we didn't have before. I'm not.
Yes, it's several residents, but by the ones that are listing, you get that new.
So like this section up here, welcome our new restaurant, and then list the other ones down here.
It's easy.
Well, welcome to our town, Gambino's, and then have all the other ones
You're
here.
spotlighting Gambino, but you're also including all the other businesses. It's not singling them out, so they're not getting complete revenue.
But when you do a single out, that's a very fine line.
But what about, see the crossing is on the porch, and we didn't see them out. We paid for an ad to have Dean's Outdoor.
Dean's Outdoor was a sponsor.
But still,
The
we're
city
singling
was
out
the
one.
host.
Right, but then
We had
what else
other-
sponsored Missouri Outdoors?
There was other people that sponsored.
They weren't on there. But
We
that's
didn't
not,
say sponsored by the city.
It's hosted by the city.
But did it say that?
I
I don't recall it saying that, but I don't.
The city was the host.
But my question is, was it hosted by the city on that? So the city has the revenue funds now from that, correct?
Correct. I mean, we didn't make money, we didn't lose money.
So my point is though, the ad didn't say that it's.
But there was other, I think they had 5 sponsors. They might have had 4.
the ad we paid for, we only listed Dean's Outdoors. So that was the ad we were given. So would we get in trouble under that? Yes. Because we only sponsored Dean's
Sponsor,
Outdoors.
but we had other sponsors.
We were not aware.
What's going on?
Well, when you put the ad in, I don't know if he was the only one that had.
And it might have been, it was a very early run ad to make sure that we were getting to the views. And that they had enough time to plan to come out for it.
So we are gonna be able to host, one more year for Missouri Outdoors, it's October 19th. Normally it travels from city to city. But I know, I'd like it to find a permanent home.
So do we have a plan to make that a profiting event for the town and not just a, didn't spend money, didn't lose money?
Yeah, the problem is the rebuilding after COVID is
And I didn't.
been a little difficult.
Do you have any examples of how you're planning to bring that profit in the town?
Would be basically, number of contestants. So normally, I remember big years, they were turning them away at the 7 to 25. But this year, I think we had 6 in all categories. Was it? So it was pretty slim.
And can we work together with that for next year to get those contestants that are coming in to stay in town? Can we make that a joint venture between us and the B&B? to make sure that those contestants are staying in town.
I know the judges stayed in town, I don't know.
Right, but I talked to
Yeah,
a couple of the parents of the contestants and the people that were here from that, and they were like, oh, well, there was nowhere to stay. And I was like, well, what about the Eagles Nest? What about the arcade? And they were like, oh, we didn't know that existed. So can we make sure that if we're promoting that event, we're getting rack tax back from that by getting those pamphlets together to those contestants and to those families, stay in town, so that we can get that rack tax.
Yeah, a resource page for contestants, yeah, that's a possibility.
You know what I mean? Just.
Do we have a resource page at all? You know, just a one sheet of, here's the restaurants, here's the hotels, here's,
I mean, our website.
so,
Because-
even a QR code.
Right, well, because businesses open and close so frequently, putting anything to paper. is-
So if we had a QR code that goes to our website, I mean, it's just a little push piece. Go ahead, Chase.
Oh, I just want to make a comment. So somebody in the chat room said we did promote staying in town. The arcade did not have rooms to rent.
Oh, okay.
And who was that from?
It says Citizen One.
I just wanna make sure that we're capturing
It
that.
says Doris Henderson.
Hotel, more places than the arcade. I didn't. know. What's that? Bell Rose place,
That's how they rent the whole thing.
It's just an Airbnb.
It's Airbnb, but it is a rent couple situation.
I mean, I know Big Mike couldn't find a place to rent. So he stayed at my house.
well, you know what, that could be because of our show. Some of those guys who come ahead, I know when we went into one of Ron's, what is in Illinois, we had our rooms ready way ahead of time. And Ron already told us now, so that could have been consistent.
Yeah, I know last year we had to stay out in London. But we also had to, so.
Yeah.
Living with us now.
So, the Chase access.
So did you all vote on anything?
Just get the past due bills paid. We have $280 we spent between the house tours and the parade. We're gonna spend 25 to Facebook ad and potential radio ad for the rest of it.
And those were official votes?
Yes.
And there's only 3 people out of the 5.
Yep. So 3 votes.
3 out of 4 doesn't remember. I said that to two several weeks ago when I had heard.
Okay, so you need 2. If
No.
you need 1.
Jody is still a part of the committee. She's just not here today.
Okay. So 3 out of 4.
Germany.